Okay, I need your attention. The tech regulations are changing. There's a risk some of our hard work will be undone, so we need to mitigate it. As soon as you can, I want you to look at the developments we have and tell us what areas you want to invest in protecting.
Now, we're starting off today's episode with quite a bombshell, as a regulation change has been confirmed for next season already, and now we've had that official confirmation from, of course, our team via the laptop. And now we're going to jump into what that regulation change is going to entail. Before we do though, if you haven't seen the previous episode, guys, go check it out. Link in the top right for the Singapore Grand Prix, the last race, if you want to avoid spoilers. But there's more breaking news on the way. So, like I said, you want to get up to speed, now's your chance. We got through practice, everything went well. This weekend, we're going to use 1:08 for qualifying, and depending how that goes, we'll go up or down or stay the same for the race. This weekend, we have rain forecast on Sunday, and quite a bit of it, so that could be very spicy. And we had rain last time out in Singapore, so for the second race in a row, we have mixed conditions. Now, as for the regulation change, the powertrain and the chassis are affected, and it's quite a big one. We've got 29 upgrades to protect, and they're all going to be quite expensive. We'll jump into that at the end of the episode, but just basically let it be known, it's a big shake-up. Now, we do have two major upgrades on the way, one for the chassis, one for the aero. Once those arrive, we'll turn our focus to next season. As you can see, we know last episode, but now confirmed, Sebastian Vettel is retiring, and he was the hot favourite for my teammate for next year, but that will no longer be possible. Or will it? We'll find out. I'll see what I can do. We might be able to persuade him out of retirement. I've got a video coming out soon regarding next season, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. But yeah, with that said, all the updates are done. You've seen what the plan is. We've got, a rule change, Seb's out, and big adjustments taking place for next season in season number 3. So with that said, we jump into qualifying and into Q1 more specifically. Now, my first lap was a bit of a shocker, I'm not going to lie. We was all over the place in this first sector. It was really scruffy. I was messing around with the balance a bit on the setup, quite a bit, dare I say too much actually, and I was struggling to really find something consistent enough that I was happy to use. Eventually we finished the lap, and after many mistakes and many kind of small corrections which gradually add up, we crossed the line with a 1:29.2, and we go last, half a second off Nicholas Latifi, and eventually we dropped down to last place once everybody set their laps. So with 2 minutes to go, I made some final adjustments, and they felt better straight away. The minute I left the pit, garage, once we got out for the installation lap, the car felt sharper, and I knew if I just had a nice clean lap, we're going to have much better pace. So we know we've got to try and at least find half a second to Latifi to try and get P19. That's the target, so anything above that would be a good improvement. Straight away through turns 1 and 2, we keep it nice and tight through both apexes, and we're already 3/10 up, making our way into the S section, which we also do a much better job. Bit of a snap through there, but other than that, a much better job of keeping it clean, nailing it, building up that momentum, and keeping our tyre temps under control. As you can see, sector 1 done, and we're 4/10 up already as we tip the car into the Degners, keeping it nice and clean. A little bit wide of the apex through Degner 2, but still look at this, 7/10 up, and this is a massive improvement. Into the hairpin, hard on the brakes. Last time we ran super wide here, this time we keep it nice and tight, and we're now a full second up on our previous lap, so this could be big. Like I said, we were half a second down on Latifi as we have a pretty bad screen freeze along the back straight. Into Spoon, I run a little bit wide and miss my apex through the first part, and we lose a little bit of time. Making our way though down towards 130R, absolutely flat out as you prepare the braking zone for the final sector. Now, sector 3 is our strongest one, so this is our strongest part of the lap. Hard on the brakes at the 100, down to 4th, over the curbs, and short shifting to 5th on the exit to make sure we try and get that traction down, keeping it tight to the right, and we are going to improve by over a second, and we move out the drop zone into P16. Will that be enough to get into Q2? The answer, unfortunately, is no, and everybody else found quite a bit of time on their final runs, and myself and Paul Chair are at the back once again on the last row. So a disappointing end to qualifying, but we out-qualified our teammate by 2/10, which is quite rewarding and quite satisfying for a change. The pace actually seems pretty decent. I mean, the whole grid is covered by a full second, which is pretty mental, and we was only 8/10 off P1, so even though we're out, it seems like we are competitive and the whole field is pretty close in terms of field spread. So there's definitely something to fight for in the race. Now, after qualifying, I'm going to move the AI up to 110 because I feel like I can probably get away with it. It seems like the pace is good. We are the worst car on the grid realistically, so this isn't a bad thing. And yeah, we're going to see what will happen. Of course, we've got that rain forecast as well, which could be very spicy. And just to quickly clarify, that screen freeze on the lap is only on the recorded version. It wasn't a thing when I was actually doing the lap and racing myself. If any of you guys know why that could have happened, you know, why my recording done that, I'd appreciate the feedback in the comments down below, in terms of maybe I can try and fix it and get around it. So yeah, that aside, let's get into the race and let's see what happens, because we've got rain and that is always very spicy.
Welcome along then to the magnificent Suzuka International Circuit, a stone's throw away from Issa Bay in the beautiful Japanese countryside. What surprises lie in wait for us today at the Japanese Grand Prix? We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at a wet and windy Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with Sector 1 likely to prove especially difficult in these conditions. We should see overtaking into turns 1 and 16 today, and maybe a few Kobayashi-style dives into the hairpin as well. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Fernando Alonso lines up on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Norris, George Russell and Verstappen, Joe, Gasly, Leclerc and Yuki Tsunoda, Albon, Stroll, Esteban Ocon and Magnussen, Aitken, Vettel, Sergio Perez and Daniel Ricciardo, Martinez, Théo Pourchaire, Mick Schumacher and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
The Japanese Grand Prix is here and it's raining, and we have strategy to decide as we are going to start the race on intermediates. The ideal plan here is to carry these into the dry conditions and not have to box for another set of inters. Fuel-wise, I'm going to go a bit lighter as we tend to save fuel in, rainy conditions. So we'll go for 0.5 under. I don't want to go too aggressive in case it backfires. And then hopefully we'll just put a set of mediums on and go to the end on our second stint. So we're looking at a one-stop strategy in this race here today. P19 slightly higher than where we qualified thanks to a couple of grid penalties. But yeah, work to do in this race. I don't know if we'll get points, but we'll give it a shot and we'll see how it goes. Either way, the rain should present an opportunity, so let's try and take full advantage of it.
Okay, you're doing well out there. Keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain. 10 minutes. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
So there's the weather update. We'll see how that goes and whether that's accurate or not. Either way, let's get into it. Got a decent bit of rear tyre temp, so this should work well. Just trying to scrub the fronts a little bit. Hopefully we can get a good start. Lap 1's going to be very key, trying to get that clean getaway. So let's line her up. A little bit aggressive, pointing towards the inside. Slow it all down. There we go, lovely. Right, let's get into it. This should be fun, hopefully, and a crazy first lap. Quick 5 lights and we're underway. Not the best start from us. Ricciardo getting off pretty poorly as well. Pourchaire on our inside. We're going to drive into this space on the outside line as we try to have a look at Aitken as well, as Ricciardo's on our left as we now head into the S section. We're going to try and use the fact that AI are in traffic to make some moves. We do manage to clear Ricciardo, so we gain a place. Grip levels aren't that great right now. Hopefully the AI aren't too overpowered in the wet and we can actually race them here today. Struggling for traction though early on as Ricciardo looks for a move into the Degner, which is a bit optimistic. Pourchaire's been caught up in that and it's all kicking off behind. As usual, the AI going for a reckless move. We're going to carry some speed here into the outside of the hairpin to try and make up for lost time. We know how good the AI are on traction. They're absolutely insane since the latest patches. So it's all going to be down to straight line speed and cornering speed to make moves and also braking. We've absolutely messed up Spooners. I've got a fly trying to get in my way, and that's going to put me on the back foot now, the Ricciardo. Let's use the battery to try and pull away here. Looks like we've got a very strong straight line speed, which is very encouraging in terms of defending our race position, but I've got no downfalls at all. Just understeering off the track as lap 1 comes to a close and we're up a place, but not much more than that. Let's see if we make any progress now onto lap 2 and 3. Ocon ahead has been getting overtaken by everybody. I think he's got wing damage. He's dropping back. Aiken's gonna have a look at getting past. Meanwhile, Ricciardo battling with Latifi, so they dropped off a little bit. Our pace is very, very poor though. I don't have race pace. I'm so slow in that first sector, it's actually a joke. But anyway, we're pretty competitive in sectors 2 and 3, especially with our straight line speed. So, on average, 2 good sectors to 1 poor one. It just depends how poor we really are in sector 1, but for now we're just going to sit here and try and build up our confidence and hopefully try to make some moves. Pace is getting a little bit better. That was a bit of a bad lap for me there, finding a bit of confidence. Half a second quicker. Tyre temps are on the limit. Any more than this and we might start to overheat. But the pace just isn't really there. We are on 110 of course. It's just traction. I'm so poor in traction. I can't match up. Especially through here. In between the S's, you know, putting the throttle on. A little bit between each corner. I really lose out. Especially this one here. The AI just put the throttle down through there. And I can't match up. And also up the hill. I just don't have the confidence to put the power down. The back end snaps on me and my rears are getting a bit hot. Just got to be careful. Ricciardo putting pressure on but isn't really finding a way through. First warning for track limits. I'm struggling with the Degner so much. Just so much front understeer. Every race it's a thing. Just can't seem to get the turn in. Obviously we've got upgrades in process as we get tagged on the rear there by Ricciardo. Getting a bit impatient by the looks of it. And I'm just struggling. I can't even, you know, go flat out in 6th gear. That's how much we're struggling with traction here. I'm only keeping up with Aiken because Ocon's got damage.
It's still not a perfect situation, but I don't think we've got cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
No rush. We should be seeing DRS enabled first, then we'll start considering dry tyres.
Okay, I think the track's going to be drying out quite soon. Be careful you don't burn out your tyres.
Well, that changed quick, literally 30 seconds. Personal best first sector, that was definitely my best one by far. I'm 4/10 up on my personal best. That felt pretty nice. Fastest laps are coming in, which means track is improving a little bit now. So I'm not actually going faster because I'm feeling more comfortable. The track is just improving and everyone's picking up their pace. I can feel it as well. The grip's getting better, but the AI also getting better. We're still going for that one stop onto that medium tyre. That's the plan. So the leaders are doing 36 ones, very low 36s. As for us, I think I might be in the low 37s if I'm lucky this lap. This is my best lap of the race. I've absolutely nailed every single corner, and it does all feel pretty sweet to be fair. I would like to get Aiken and Ocon before I pit, but I don't want to get too optimistic. 37.1. That is the narrowest margin I've had so far in terms of gap to leader on lap-to-lap pace. I was about 2 seconds off the pace when it was a bit wetter. Now the rain has stopped. We're on a dry track. I'm only a second off the leader, so my actual pace is becoming a lot better now.
The track's drying, the track is drying. Let us know when it's time for slicks.
Won't be long. Track is improving quite a lot. I don't think I'm going to overtake anybody. I've got no traction out of that final chicane. Another strong lap, personal best, but I just don't see where this move's going to happen right now. Well, to be fair, Jack does keep brake checking into turn 1, so might be worth a pop up the inside.
Flag.
Got a flag behind, I think. Just behind us. Or confirm, I think it's Latifi though. Or not. Can't quite tell. No, Schumacher, I think, actually. But he's got going again, so no DNF, just a momentary spin. You can see we lose so much in the first sector, but then I'm so strong everywhere else. To be fair, what might bail us out this race, we're getting closer to that phase where the AI will come in for their one stop, and they may have to come in for another set of inters. That's just the way they work. So let's hope these conditions hold out for a bit longer. I think we're only moments away from DRS being enabled, but let's see if the AI can maybe hang on to these and pit for another set of intermediates. That would be ideal, as we're looking at mediums for our stop. But let's see. That could be a way of us getting to the points this race. So there it is. The team want us in for dries. DRS still not enabled. I feel like I might stay out. Let's see what the AI do, although I am starting to struggle a little bit. Tyres overheating. Some cars are in. What do I do here? I really don't know. Second warning for track limits. I think I'm going to box. I'm overheating. Let's just box. Hopefully Paul Chair doesn't lose too much time. Right, let's go for it. Let's see how this goes. Ocon, is he getting a front wing change? I don't think he is. Purple, good timing. Come on, medium tyre, nice and quick, please. Damn it. They could have easily put me out in that gap. Instead, we've actually lost out to Ricciardo. Bloody hell.
That was our last stop.
And we're going to lose out to Latifi if we're not careful. Oh my god. Well, that hasn't worked out according to plan. We'll see what the pace is in the dry. Tires are stone cold, so we're going to have to be careful. This is when the AI are at their best. Out of the pits on an outlap on stone cold tyres. So Latifi's going to be eager to get past. You can see I'm just bleeding lap time as I can't get the power down. Looks like I'll just stay in front here. But there's just no tyre grip at all. Latifi on the inside. Got to leave some space. Lock up into the hairpin as we struggle for all sorts of grip. Now Schumacher getting involved. We're going to close both doors here and just take like a natural racing line. Right, we've managed to stay ahead now. I think we should be able to pull away. Oh, damn it.
Okay, Teo's in the pits. Teo in the pits.
Well, that's that then. Just no grip whatsoever. It's just impossible. Oh, yellow flag. Ricciardo, 5-second time penalty. Something's happened ahead of us.
Yellow flag.
Bit of debris off the racing line there, but it looks like no safety car or VSC from it. I wonder if Ricciardo's got damage. Yellow flag still out, and it's Paul Chair pulling over. So Paul Chair out of the race as Ricciardo has damage. A safety car would get us back in this race.
Okay, clear.
That might be our golden ticket, but I don't think we're going to get it. As Paul Chair has already disappeared off the map and there's been no safety car. Okay, I think I've got DRS on Ricciardo. It's amazing how he's had a crash and somehow is still running at a good pace. A couple of purple sectors from us. Not a fastest lap though, but still looking a bit better. We should obviously finish ahead of Ricciardo with the penalty. Our pace in the dry is much better than the wet. Just a shame that we bottled it and made a mistake. Well, it's really kicking off ahead of us. There's a massive scrap going on. Looks like we might bag a few more places, and even after that spin, we're going to recover back to where we were.
Currently, the fastest lap is at 1 minute 29.4.
Wow. We did lose a lot of battery that lap, and yes, I'm in DRS, but we're only 2/10 off the fastest lap. Our dry pace is actually pretty damn impressive, and it's funny because I lose like a full second in the first sector alone, as Ricciardo has a moment, but I'm just so much quicker in sectors 2, especially sector 3. You can see through there Ricciardo just pulls away, but then now I start to pull it back from this point on. Look at this. Multi-car scrap ahead, 4 cars in the mix, about to be 5 as a bit of end plate falls off. Let's make up 5 positions, shall we? And get back to P15, I think, or P16 actually. We're going to get a bit of action though, finally, after such a boring race. I'm actually looking forward to this. Yellow flag. Where is that? Can't quite tell. Turn 2. Got Ocon with serious damage now. Alonso out of the race. It'd be typical now that I get to overtake, we get a safety car to nullify our progress. We're going to commit to a move though, here we go. Look at the speed on the straight. As we breeze past, we know Ocon has damage, so I'm going to be a bit cautious here. Up the inside. Oh,
Drop your speed. Our delta's too
down.
low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately. Understood. Stopping this lap.
We're taking this. I should have just floored it. The delta doesn't matter in the pit lane. Soft tyres, why not? Let's go for it. Our pace is good. Ocon will be behind us. May as well take full advantage of this pit stop. I won't rule out possibly stopping again once we catch up to put another set of fresh tyres on, because we're going to do quite a bit of damage on these catching up to the safety car, because they're heading into the hairpin right now, so we're essentially almost a lap down, so we need to close the gap. The race won't get back underway until we've caught up to the pack, so with that in mind it might be worth taking a cheeky extra stop once we catch up. This could be a pointless gamble, but I'm trying to nerf my pace on purpose so that we don't catch up to the pack, so we don't get a safety car in this lap. So I'm keeping a fair distance. Once they get into the chicane and the safety car isn't coming in, we can floor it.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Okay, let's floor it. We should be okay now. We'll box for another set of softs. Fresh soft tyres ready to go. There we go, safety car staying out for one more. Lovely. Time this correctly. Now we'll put a fresh set on. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of tyre wear, so we'll take that off by putting another set on. Yes, we're going to have to pass Ocon, but we're going to get some fresh tyres on. And we can take this out lap at normal speed. That should heat the tyres up to the right temperature for the restart. So let's get this over and done with.
Safety car in this lap.
You heard him. This is it. So we'll pass Ricardo. Ocon as well will be a bit of a mobile chicane on that hard tyre. But let's get ready then for the restart. Trying to get some rear tyre tempers. We prepare the final chicane. Traction still won't be great as tyres are not fully warmed up. But let's try and send it and make some progress. Ocon first up. Look at the straight line speed. Once upon a time, that would have been impossible to make. Now we've got a bunch of medium runners. Ricardo next up. We're still going to struggle, I think, in this first sector, but then we're going to be so powerful in the second and third sector, it's going to be a joke. I wonder, do I dare? Had to straight line it to not hit Latifi there. Job done though. Let's get Latifi now. We're going to use quite a bit of battery as there's not long to go in this race. And we're so fast in the straight, we have to put it to good use. I think we can get a point as we get lucky there with track limits, as I let right off the throttle to avoid getting another warning. We'll get Latifi into the chicane. I'm not going to drain my battery here. We'll wait until after 130R. Don't know why the AI are braking on the way in, so we're going to get underneath Latifi. Latifi trying to hang on the braking, but we go through, locking the rears a bit there. Bit of a sloppy overtake, not my best one. But no concerns that we'll stay ahead, as I know my straight line speed's very good. Up next, Schumacher, after that Aiken. And there's a bit of a scrap ahead as well, which will bring us into play. There could be a move on here at the hairpin. AI going slowly, look at that. Just sending it with the pure grip of the soft tyre around the outside of Schumacher. Gonna get underneath Aiken now and use the straight line speed. as we blast past up into P15. We are definitely on for some points today. It all depends if the soft tire can hang on and not overheat, which is a concern I do have, as we're already up to 97 Celsius on the right rear. Let's get Lando here. We're going to get the run through 130R, expecting the AR to brake, which will make things a lot easier for us. Easy on the braking, so not running to the back of Albon, as Lando just tags us on the side there, but we're through. And up to P14, another one gained. I think there's more than just points at stake. There's quite a few points at stake. There are, say, championship defining points, and to lock up that P7 in the Constructors' Championship. So let's aim for that. Behind, that's Ricciardo. In trouble for the second time this race. It's been a race to forget for the Honey Badger. Meanwhile, look how much we closed up through the Degners. Could be a move on here. Oh god. Wing damage. Not good. We're going to try and fight through it though. I just didn't know where to go, inside or out. I couldn't decide, and I ended up just catching a front. We might just get away with it though, with the tyres. Oh, it's not ideal though. It's the left-handers I'm struggling with badly. This is going to hurt, especially for 130R. But it's not going to take away from our straight line speed, so we'll see. Vettel's got a 5-second penalty ahead of us, so that could also play a factor. Let's see, this isn't over yet. We're not going to give up. Just got to be careful as the Aston Martins get strapping away. Let's test out straight line speed then with some DRS. What can we do here? Look at this. It's like an absolute rocket on the straight. We breezed past all 3 cars. We're going to try and hang around the outside. Seb fights back. We're going to get the inside line into the S's. Still side by side with damage as we just get in front and move into the points. That was critical. And we've got Seb behind as a rear gunner with a penalty, so that could really help us out. Let's try and defend now. Last lap of the race. Got plenty of battery to use. Oh my god, what has Seb done there? What the hell was that? That's not fair. He's just taking me out. What is everyone doing? Oh my god, the AI are just so chaotic. Okay, composure, composure. Just got to get Magnussen. And we're P10. Come on. Stay composed, stay composed. We're going to really struggle to stay close for here though, because of the damage. Although Seb is also damaged himself. That might just help us out. Aiken slips on the inside as I've got loads of understeer. Right, all the battery. We're going to have to just deploy everything now and drain it. Coming through, coming through, coming through. We're going to commit. We're going to commit. Yes. Go. 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 Bring it home, bring it home. Hold on, hold on. Yes. Somehow we score a point. Somehow.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
They've done it then, here at Suzuka. A brilliant win on the beloved Figure of 8 circuit. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on track was: speed. I know it sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
It again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Don't ask me how, but somehow we've got a point, and that is a massive bonus for us. After a miserable race on a 3-stop strategy, we made the right moves at the right time, and our pace in the dry, even on 110, was really strong here. It's just a shame the rain actually probably was a bit of a disadvantage for us. Either way, Carlos Sainz picks up the win. Zhou Guanyu with a career personal best 2nd place. Hamilton 3rd, both Mercedes on the podium. Verstappen 4th ahead of Russell. Then it's Gasly and Tsunoda, both AlphaTauri scoring massive points, by the way. This is really bad news for us. P6 and P7 for them. This is really concerning. We'll have a look at the championship now, but Leclerc 8th for Ferrari, Perez 9th, and we finish in the final points position. Aitken misses out on the top 10 along with Magnussen, Stroll, Albon, Schumacher, Ocon, Latifi, Vettel, Norris, Ricciardo, Alonso, and Paul Cheer. Now, I'm not going to lie. Had we not stacked it and got damage, I could have probably got a few more points, but that's on me. I think P8 could have been possible today. But let's look at the standings, because that AlphaTauri double points finish is a big problem. In the drivers, we're still P12, 2 points ahead of Schumacher. Gasly closing in as he's now 18 points behind. Hamilton takes the lead with a few races to go. In the constructors though, look at that. That 1 point we scored has kept us ahead of AlphaTauri on countback due to the race win in Canada. So all of a sudden P7 is in jeopardy and we need to perform. So yeah, it's going to be a battle to the finish in the constructors. It's game on, us versus AlphaTauri, and we've got to keep pushing. So let's move back into the menu and let's get into developments and let's try and improve the car. So we already have 2 upgrades penciled in for the next race with the brake disc and the halo. So what we're going to do first of all is do the activities, which will auto-fill. I'm not really too concerned what they really do at this stage. But what we're looking at here is protecting upgrades. We have 2,200 points. So we're going to go ahead and first of all work on the chassis. So let's go ahead and adapt all these parts. We're not going to have enough to buy all of them today, but we'll do a few. So there we go, we've still got quite a ways to go yet, which will take us probably another 2 races. As for the power unit, as you can see, they're a bit cheaper, but they're still going to set us back a little bit. So we'll be lucky to get all of these done by the end of the season, to be fair. And then obviously, if we're still in a position, we'll keep upgrading and pushing forward. So yeah, we've got a bit of a break until the next race. So when we get more R&D points, we'll go ahead and purchase a couple more before the next race in Austin. Now we have a department event for the durability, and we have to adjust or reallocate budget. Now, this is quite an easy one. We're going to reallocate and get an extra 400 R&D points, which is going to help us, spend towards the R&D change. So this is quite a simple one. Now we're ready for the next race in Austin, but as you can see, we have 834 points thanks to that, reimburse of points that we got. So we're going to go ahead and, oh my god, that one alone is 833. Jesus. Okay, we'll go ahead and get a few more. Can I do a few cheap ones? No, I can't. We'll just have to bite the bullet here. One by one, we'll have to get through them. So yeah, that's another 2 shaved off. So we've got 8 to go on the chassis. And then on the engine, it's going to be 10. So 18 to go. Fair enough. We'll work towards these over the next few races. But yeah, that leaves us with no points. As we move into the next weekend at Austin, we should be able to shave off another 3 or 4 for the next race. So we're just going to keep working towards it basically. But this is a big regulation change, an expensive one as well. Either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe if you did for that points finish. And the car is going to be improved for the next race. As you can see, we're ahead of AlphaTauri and Williams. I think we had a triple upgrade possibly. So that's big news for us. So that's going to be an improvement. So yeah, as always guys, I'll see you next time. A massive plug for the members for supporting the channel and the content. And finally, check out the videos on the screen if you haven't seen them already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care and let's go back from me.